Customer states, I don't know if it was included in the invoice, but you might want to check with your boss. I don't think you're supposed to do the backyard. Employee states, you call my boss, I don't have his number saved on my phone.
Customer states brakes don't feel like they used to. You mean like they used to yesterday, or like they used to a century ago?
Customer states vibration when driving. Declined tires. So they weren't like that when she came in. It's our fault. Normal operations.
Alright, what up y'all? It's Matt Shop. So I got this quick trick. What you do is, if your gauge is broken like this, you can see the needle is stuck below its little peg there. What you do is you get a magnet, and then I have a regular magnet, and you can see the key's on right now. It's in the on position, and it's not affected by the magnet. But if I turn the key off, you can see it's affected by the magnet. I'm gonna drag it around and see if I can get it to work. Come on. Come on, you want to do it. Come on. Oh, look at that. All the way back over. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Oh my gosh, it's all the way back over. All right, I'm going to turn the key. Wow, it worked. Peace.
Customer came in for an alignment on a 73 Mach 1. We told them that it needed front end parts, the pitman arm. He tells us that he already replaced the gearbox. No sir. Pitman arm. Yeah, the gearbox. Please send help.
Alright guys, got a good one here today. Customer states cars stalling when they turn on the AC. Let's see what we got. I think we may have found the reason why. Yep. And look at that. See if we can get that in there. It's that light I see there.
Customer, my car will pass MOT. I bet you will find no issues.
Going to do a little test here. I'm going to unload the weight of the truck off of the suspension to kind of simulate driving down the road. And you know, you hit a bump and the suspension unloads for a second. I want to see if that back coilover is just hanging on by a thread or if there's something else holding it in. So let's see what it does. All right, so bear with me here. We got the jack on the frame, and we're just gonna pull the weight off and see what it does. If I don't roll down the driveway first. So you can see the coil over there. I'm gonna start taking weight off the truck. Look at that. I don't know if y'all saw that move. Alright, I'm gonna stop jacking it up here and we're gonna walk over there and see if I can pull that out by hand. Yep. So, had this truck been driving down the road and hit a bump at just the right speed and just everything kind of coming together in this horrible shit show situation, that coilover would have dropped. So cool. And I'm not going to let it all the way down because I don't want to risk damaging the truck, but as you can see, that tire is tucked up in there. This would have been complete catastrophic failure. Very dangerous.
Customer states they don't want an inspection. Well, I think there's a problem here. Yeah, that's a problem.
Oh, do I have a good customer?
Customer states, I'd like an alignment. My car seems to be pulling to the left. Oh, well, I wonder if that broken leaf spring's the problem. No thanks. Have a great day.
Customer states,
I know a guy who can do it cheaper.
the guy.
Customer states on the Dodge they want an alignment check. And if you get under it, see that the axle has been great.
I got an F-150 EcoBoost in here that was in a few months ago, needed cam phasers, and guy said, oh, my buddy can do them cheaper. So it ran for a while, and now here it is in my stall. So I found out his buddy was a Dodge mechanic, all kinds of bolts missing, kind of frustrating for me, but here we go. Secondary timing chain tensioners collapsed, and I believe it slipped a tooth, so pull it all apart, do it again. Here's the final culprit. These tensioners ship compressed, and to release them you have to compress them and then they click and they tighten up, and that was not done while he was working on it. Unfortunately I already clicked them, but that's what caused the timing chain to slack up and flop around in there.
On today's customer states, we have a Ford Edge that apparently hit a rock and now has an oil leak. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. Maybe you hit a boulder.
States, that new engine you just built for me is blown up. It's got no compression in one cylinder. So I told him, pull the engine out, leave it together, because I want to test the injectors. Oh, my buddy tests the injectors. The injectors are fine. Let's see how fine they are. Oh, look at that. Super fine. Well, what that turns into is it's fact. That's what happens. You stupid idiot.
Customer states their vehicle doesn't show that it's in park. We register all the gears except for park. Once we put it in park, it's in park. But it doesn't show up on the dash. Why is that? Well, let me show you. Here's what a new shifter looks like outside of the truck. When you put it in park, this little lever pushes on this little micro switch right here. Once that micro switch gets pressed in, it lets the dash know it needs to show that it's in park. If you look at our old one, that switch has been broke off. These shifters can be a real chore to replace. Luckily on these F-150s, you can just pop up the center console, 4 bolts, and disconnect the shift cable and electrical connector, and you're done. Okay, new shifter in. Let's see what happens. There we go. Just like that.
All right, funny story time. Camera shaking because I'm driving. I'm running between calls. Customer states key will not come out of the ignition. Okay, that's a fairly standard thing. I go over there. I go to move the seat back. It's electric and it doesn't move. Customer goes, oh yeah, the battery's dead. Like, okay, I now know something. I have a suspicion. So I go grab my jump box that I use to start semi-trucks out of my trunk, hook it up to the car, all the lights come on, and the key comes out of the ignition. Go ahead and fire it up, let it idle, charge up the battery, and I explain to the customer, yeah, every once in a while you run into this, certain vehicles, they won't release the key if the battery's dead. And she goes, you know, it's funny you say that because I told my husband that it was probably something to do with the fact that the battery was dead. And he told me, no, that doesn't make any sense, and told me to call you. I'm like, okay, well, now you get to lord that over your husband for the rest of the day that you were right and he was wrong.
I'm just here for an oil change. Don't try to sell me anything else. Don't try to tell me that it needs major repair. It drives perfectly fine. It doesn't need anything else. I know what I have. It wasn't like that when I brought it here. What do you mean they're worn out?
Customer called me, said he was out giving his Dodge the beans, and his steering got a little weird. See if we can't figure this one out. Wheel looks normal over here. Dash is completely roached. But we get to this side and it seemed a little odd. Let's take a look underneath. Ah! You got one of those Bluetooth ball joints. That ain't right.
Alright, let's see how many times I can start this thing. Okay. Put the clutch right here, see what that does. Amazing! Barely even got to push down. Cranks over just fine. Got 14 volts. Try it again. We'll let up off the clutch a little bit, see if it'll work. It shouldn't work at this point. Click, 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 click. Nothing. Okay. A little bit further down. Nothing. All the way to the floor. Amazing. Wow, looky there.
Alright, you got your daily dose of customer states. Well, we got a customer states vehicle will not start. Please inspect and report. Checked it for codes. It has an engine disconnect clutch stuck open. Took the transmission pan down. Transmission pan has these fluid tubes that run to the back to this auxiliary pump here. Can anybody tell me what's missing? Oh, by the way, this vehicle was just at another shop for a transmission service.
Customer states fuel gauge not working. Took me less than a minute to find the issue. Found it unplugged, just zip ties it back on due to broken clip. They needed to head out ASAP. I don't think some of these drivers do a pre-trip. Can't make this stuff up, SMH.